Now that we have all our prep work done, we can finally start putting it all together. In this lesson, we'll walk through building your bulletin. We'll start by reviewing the layout plan and creating placeholders. Next, we'll cover tips for preparing and importing your content. Finally, we'll clean up the text, manage any overflow issues, and place images to bring everything together. This graphic on your screen gives an outline of the bulletin that we will be building. It's a 12-page document, 9 pages for us to design, and 3 of them are assumed to be ads that our bulletin printer would put on for us. So our first page in our document will be our cover with some basic info. Next, we'll move on to our Sunday readings, pastor notes, parish finance, lector, server schedules, mass intentions. Then we'll move on to some featured events that are relevant to about 50% of the parish with a calendar link for more. We'll also have a featured event flyer. Our next page, page 6, will have more event graphics highlighting 4 different events that take up about quarter page of each. Then we'll have an article from our fictional director of religious education, as bulletins should be more than a glorified calendar. They really should be a vehicle for catechesis. And then our last 2 pages will have some overflow from our catechetical article, and then we'll have some staff contacts and sacramental information. And then the final pages will be the ads, which we will not have to build as they will be handled by our fictional bulletin printer. This session will be longer than the earlier videos, about 30 minutes, because we're going step by step through the full build process. Feel free to pause the video whenever you need, so that you can work along with me or jump ahead using the timestamps in the description. We're not focused on making it beautiful yet. Right now, we just want to get all the content placed and make sure everything fits together in a clear, readable layout. We'll polish it and make it beautiful in the next lesson. First, let's add our interior pages. Click on the Add Page button. We're going to apply Master Page A, which is the interior page we created. Since we know we need 9 pages total and already have 1, we just need to create 8 more, and then click OK. Over here, we can see the thumbnails for our pages. Next, we are going to make sure we have our first page selected, and then we are going to grab Master Page B and drag it onto the first page. Now we are ready to add our placeholders. Let's start by selecting the rectangular picture frame tool. We'll add a frame on our cover, leaving some space for some additional info we will add in a little later. Now, let's hop down to page 5. Here we will add another frame placeholder for our event flyer. Next, let's scroll down to the next page and add our frames for the quarter page graphics. Once you have one created, select the Move tool and click it holding Option, Alt if you're on Windows, and drag to create a duplicate. And then we will do it again with both selected. The images we're going to place here have already been prepared, so we'll begin by placing them into the layout, starting from the top and moving down the document. Once the images are in place, we'll add the text placeholders and content. If we toggle our preview button, we can get a small glimpse into how it's starting to come together. Going back to the first page, we're going to add another frame and add in our logo. And now we're going to switch over to adding text placeholders and content. With so much written content to include, we'll take it one page at a time. We'll begin by adding placeholders for each section, then place the content into those frames and make small adjustments before continuing to the next page. Just like the images we added earlier, our text content has been prepared off screen so that it's ready for us to work with. We'll begin on the cover by creating text boxes for each section of information. Then we'll open our prepared document, copy the content, and place it into the boxes. Now with the content in our boxes, we'll select the first box and then choose our paragraph style we set up last lesson. I will be using the body style for the two info boxes under the logo, and for the quote, I will use our title style and adjust it. The black color is a bit hard to read over the image, so I'm going to go ahead and make it white, which will make it a little more legible. We'll clean it up more when we polish up the document as a whole. Now, as we move down to our info boxes, watch what happens when I apply the paragraph style. Applying the paragraph style brings everything into alignment, and you can start to see the design starting to take shape. This time we are creating a text box for the Sunday readings and the pastor's note. So for each section, we are creating a box for the title and one for the bulk of the text. On this next page, we will add our readings and a note from the pastor. Instead of opening the document and copying the text manually, we're going to place it directly into the text box. With the text box selected, we are going to go up to our menu and click on File. Then we'll go down to Place and select the file we want to insert. This is slightly faster than copying and pasting manually, especially when dealing with large amounts of text. On the left, I typed the title of the section and went ahead and applied the style and made some minor adjustments, such as removing extra spaces. Next, I selected the text box and placed the text directly from the file. And now, we will move to the right and repeat with the next piece of content. Just as with the cover, we can start to see the design coming together. Our next page will feature our parish financial support chart along with the lector and server schedule for the upcoming week. For now, we'll place text boxes for the titles and come back to build the tables later. This page will also include our mass intentions, which we will add using the same placement technique we just used. For this next page, we'll add 2 columns for the featured events. Just like before, we will be using the placing technique, but this time we will need to link the text boxes to accommodate the overflowing text. So we added our box to the title and our 2 boxes. Select the first text box that will house the bulk of the copy, and then select File, Place from the menu, importing the correct document into the file. Now you should notice the little red eye towards the lower right-hand side of the text box. This indicates we have text that doesn't fit in the allocated space. To fix this, we will want to link this text box with another one so that the text can overflow from the first to the second. To do this, click on the red eye. You should now notice a little link icon appear next to your cursor. Take your mouse and hover over the text box you wish to apply it to and click it. The text will now flow from the first box to the second. To apply the style, first select the boxes by holding your Shift key as you click each one. With the boxes selected, click on the style. Like before, we want to go in and clean up the extra spaces. Now we are going to jump down a couple of pages, going past our event flyer and the event graphics page, taking us to page 7, where our faith formation article is going to go. On this page, we are going to do a 3-column layout with a title that will expand across the top. So let's first lay out our title section. Next, let's add our columns, and we're also going to make sure that they are aligned so that they look nice. Next, we'll place the article and link the text boxes. Here's 1, 2, and 3. Just like the featured events page, we have another red eye indicating overflow text. So we're going to scroll down to our next page and add another box that we can link the overflow text with. With the 4 columns linked together, I'm going to cut the title of the article currently listed as the first line in the first column and paste it into the title placeholder. Apply the style and adjust as needed. The other half of this page will contain some community information, and the final page will list staff contact information and some more general information. We will be able to use the same place, apply style, and clean it up method we've been using. Since we've already covered this technique a few times, I'll speed up this section so we can see the bulletin coming together. Then we'll move on to the tables we skipped earlier. As you can see, our bulletin is starting to come together. Now let's go back and add in our tables. When creating a table, you'll want to know upfront how many rows and columns you will need. That way we can create the table and copy and paste the information from our spreadsheet. We copied the information from the spreadsheet and pasted it into the table. With the table selected, we can apply our paragraph styles to help keep our bulletin looking sharp. We will repeat this process for our second table. Finally, let's start from the top and have a quick look at where we are. As you scroll through the document, you'll probably notice we now have a working bulletin with all the necessary info that would meet the basics of a usable bulletin with basic formatting and a simple structure. Our next lesson will take this basic bulletin to the next level by improving the text hierarchy, making information easier to scan, and adding color and decorative elements.